No offense to people with limp dick, it's a very serious medical condition. That, any one of us could experience someday. Well, I guess since there's no leaderboard and I just went 1 win, I don't care about maximizing my win rate anymore, I guess. So let's play Hunter because we said we wanted to. I guess. I think Librarian's good. Did you do any heroic brawl crazy poops? These are both pretty good. I have a feeling if I look it up, the win rates will tell me. Necrolite. Maybe that's why I've been doing bad recently. I haven't drafted any Necrolites. Yeah, it does tell me Necrolite, although the win rates are close-ish. I have water. I do have water. You wanna know something really sad? Like really, really sad? Like really, 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 really sad. I haven't gone infinite since February 1st. Not that long. For infinite? Maybe for not getting the 12. It's true, I haven't been streaming a lot, it's true. But what about the 70 hours of Hearthstone Arena I've played off stream since the month started? Pretty embarrassing, right? To play 70 hours with no infinite? Okay, I haven't seen Short Circuit 2. Or Short Circuit. I have seen Ace Ventura. Very topical for transphobia. I think there's a lot of like stacked value in Death Rattle and Reborn stuff this meta, and that's maybe why Silence is good. It also like can let you get that final bit of damage. Why it feels good to you. Been a while since I saw Ace Ventura. I'd say maybe like 3 out of 5 blobs. There's some really funny bits in it, but even when I watched it years and years ago, I felt it was tremendously uneven, and a lot of it made me extremely uncomfortable. Not only the extraordinarily blatant transphobia. Like, there's a charitable reading. If you took like one scene out of the movie, there's a semi-charitable reading you could do of that character, but it's just not worth it's not worth rupturing your muscle from stretching that hard. Oh, did you ask me that the other day, Isoleucine? I think I forgot to answer. Cinderella, man. But you know what's funny? I actually like Jim Carrey more in his serious roles than his, like, rubber face roles. I think The Mask is really good. Ace Ventura is so hit or miss. Cinderella, man. I never saw this one either. Never really a big fan of boxing movies. I think Creed is phenomenal. I think Rocky is really great. I haven't seen Raging Bull yet. So with this pick, I think all around Necrolite's a better card, but there's a lot of synergies with Mastiff and Hunter. So it's hard to choose. I think I enjoy Mastiff and it's a class card, so we'll go with that. Belcher's fine. You could take Piper hoping to draw Mastiff, but we'll probably draft 1-drops at some point. Could even go Shot here. Oh, man. Alright, let me do, Shrek 2, and then I'll try to think of my favorite comedy. Okay, so, I mean, I'm extremely familiar with the sacred text that is Shrek 1. I probably saw Shrek 2 a couple times a long time ago, and I think I saw Shrek the third once and was like, okay, enough of this. I heard the new Puss in Boots was amazing, actually, so I'm looking forward to that. Shrek 2, they become human in that one, yeah, and it's all about, like, racism. Like, even more so than the first one. I do appreciate the wiggle room, ISO. I would say Shrek 2 is probably also a 3 out of 5 blob movie. I remember thinking it's just like a cut above average. Let's see, the villain was the fairy, right? The mother, fairy mother, god mother. A friendly beast that died this game. Probably just want the one here. Maybe Bowman's better, I don't know, but a lot of our beasts are gonna be small because of Mastiff. It's nice to have a 1 in Hunter. I like disabling hero powers in Hunter as well. You could try to hit Mastiff with Dire Frenzy. I can't build everything around Mastiff, though. Giving this beast... Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. How much would someone have to donate to force you to watch all the Fantastic Beasts and review them? Are you asking because you would consider doing that? Because then we could talk actual numbers. If you ask it as a hypothetical, I don't even want to bother to figure it out. But, like, I have a Patreon. People could commission me to watch any damn thing and I'll watch it, as long as it's findable. The process of film criticism is, like, it's just an enjoyable process to me. So even the most vile film in the world, I would still enjoy the process of writing criticism of it. What am I looking up? Win rates here. It really should be the Wing Blast. I'll just take the Wing Blast. Don't try to get too fancy with it. This is really good for our deck, given what we have so far, but I still take the fun and good card. Ooh, ooh, Tuffy. Alright, what is a favorite comedy of mine? I'll rattle a few of them off for you here. Hausu is like a surrealist horror comedy.
Comedies are funny.
Hello, Phil Guy. Thank you for the 11 months. It'll be called Why Don't You Play in Hell? I'm really partial to Hot Fuzz. I've had a long-standing love affair with a spoof of bad 50s sci-fi movies called The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra. I think that there exists a movie that I found funnier than all of those that I just mentioned, but it doesn't come to mind right at this moment. Bloody Knight and Armorer. Bloody Knight has a slightly better win rate. We have 4 3-drops. 2 of them are good on 3. Maybe we could use the Armorer. This is a really tough pick here. What do y'all pick here? Do you prefer Hot Fuzz to Shaun of the Dead? I do myself, yes. Yeah. No disrespect to Shaun of the Dead. But I think they're comparable in craftsmanship, and I find Hot Fuzz to be, like, 10 times funnier, personally. No luck catching them killers, then. I just, like, quotes from Hot Fuzz are constantly in my head. I don't think quotes from Shaun of the Dead are constantly in my head. It's just the one killer, actually. Ugh. I haven't played with armor in a while. Punished. Another good 4-drop right away. Up spinner's nice. Nobody tells me nothing. So we don't have a weapon yet. What the hell? We'll get one, right? 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 This deck is ass. All decks are ass. I haven't had a non-ass deck in over a week. My favorite proper, like, studio comedy, of which I really dislike 98% of, it's probably Anchorman. Anchorman's really funny. Ass, 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 boring, ass, boring, boring, ass, 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 boring. Pardon my ass. Is it even worth it to take the Piper? Don't have a lot of beasts. It's good with Mastiff, but what the hell else is it good for? Okay, a 1 or a 2-drop here. Go Alley Cat. Sure. It would be nice if we had a weapon to go with all these weapon synergies we got. You need a 3-drop. I guess I'll take a Kenai again. I could take Animal. Come on, just give me like 1 candle shot. That's friendly Death Rattle. Copy of a beast in your deck. Ass, 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 ass. Oh, we're creeping one way or the other. Hot Fuzz popularity outside the UK was always odd to me, given it leans so heavily on rural West Country stereotypes. Oh man, you know what? Might actually be my answer. The Big Lebowski. I think that's an immaculate comedy. In every sense of the word. I just thought of that because I was like, surely there's plenty of comedies that are about like subsets of American culture that are internationally appealing, right? And The Big Lebowski is like 5 different subsets of American culture. Hey Veritas. Just miserable, man. This is a fun card at least. And I'm scanning, and I'm scanning, and I'm scanning, and I'm scanning. This is a fun card, and I'm scanning, and I'm scanning. There's a... I don't know if this is a fun card. There's like 2.5 fun cards in this deck. Yeah, that's actually my favorite comedy of all time, 2.5 Men. How do you feel about Monty Python? Agnostic. It might exist, but I've never seen evidence of it. Oh my god, you're gonna love the show. What We Do in the Shadows is definitely up there for me. I wouldn't single it out as my top comedy, but it's in the top echelon. Hunt for the Wilder People is also legendary. Yeah, I don't really care very much about Monty Python, but I also don't have anything against it. Honorable mentions for In Bruges. I also really like to give shout out to Game Night whenever I can, as another studio comedy that I really respect. That I did not expect to respect at all. It's honestly pretty hard for me to find comedy films that I really adore. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That one is like a 4.5 out of 5 blobs for me, verging on a 5 out of 5. I think that's an incredible film. I mentioned earlier that I really like Jim Carrey's dramatic work. And Eternal Sunshine is kind of like the... I mean, that and Truman Show are like... those are why I say that. I've seen some of his other dramatic stuff, but like those movies are incredible. And he's so vulnerable in that movie. And it's been a while since I saw it, but... God, the imagery, the visuals, like how funny and like insightful is for example the scene where he's like a baby underneath the table but he's like a full-grown human. That's a great example of using the visual medium of cinema to like do the heavy lifting on your jokes. And it's also so packed with layers of meaning. In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'd say it's his most serious movie. I have seen a couple movies that are more serious of his than Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. But nobody watches them for good reason. The Majestic and The Number 23. They're not good, but they are more serious. I think, oh, shoot. Oh, interesting. I think Eternal Sunshine leverages Jim Carrey in a really smart way by being a serious movie, but letting him cut loose in certain moments. Brother, if I could tell, like, that movie left not even the glimmer of an impression of a plot point in my head, so I couldn't tell you. I know two things about the number 23. One of them is he sees the number 23 everywhere he goes. And the other is later on in the movie they're in the woods. That's all I can tell you. Hmm. Wasn't there a kid that could see the future? Are you thinking of knowing? I feel no need to clear this 5-7. We have the Smork advantage here, so let's lean on that. Truman Show's by far his best work. It's neck and neck with Eternal Sunshine. I did rewatch The Truman Show recently. Not only does it hold up, but it stands as prophetic of so many things that have happened since then. Yeah, Captain Knuckles. But that's not next turn, that's 2 turns from now. Thank you, John Coffin. Oh, the set design in Truman Show is incredible. Like, I'm talking as a theater guy, right? I'm an insider here. If you just like a casual person watching the Truman Show, there's 1,000 things that you didn't notice about how the set design builds a sense of artifice and tension just by being like a really shrewd, like the tells that it has are so shrewd, and not only that, but like it really thinks about what would need to happen if you're going to build an entire universe on a soundstage. Lovely to see you, Trash Queen. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Seaside, Florida. I'm a selective Jim Carrey enjoyer. I gotta say, I think I'm the only person who I've ever heard make this claim, but I still stand by it. I think he should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, straight up, like, for the Oscars. That's my hot take. But they never respect comedy, and they never respect the mainstream shit. Best Supporting Actor, he was the lead! I mean, he's the lead in our hearts, but he doesn't have a ton of screen time in Sonic the Hedgehog, but every ounce of screen time he has, he like explodes that movie. And just like my physical theater background was singing when I was watching him in that movie. His, like... the precision of technique in his physical performance as Eggman, I thought it was actually an extremely mature performance for him. And he did a lot of very careful modulation that I found missing from some of his more iconic early comedy work. Like I really thought that it was a moment of like coming into his own in a way in his old age. Additionally, I thought that the movies that year were few and shit, so I felt like he should have got the nomination. Because that was 2020, you know? Everything was kind of dunked up. Detective Pikachu? Dude, I tried to... This doesn't happen to me. This never happens to me. I tried to watch Detective Pikachu. I couldn't get through it, man. 1 out of 5 blobs. I was like, why is any of this the way that it is? It's like a deranged movie. Yeah, Oscars doesn't award best acting. It awards most acting. Who is doing the most in their performance. Which sometimes is also the best, but not generally. And you would think, based on that definition, that it's most acting, not best acting, that they could have given Jim Carrey a nomination, but you have to take in the other primary factor, which is what they considered to be high art and low art. And certainly everything about the Carrey performance was low art to them, even though, straight up, from a technical perspective, his performance was better than most of the best acting nominees. In my opinion. God, I would dream to work with an actor that was bringing the heat that he brought to Eggman. Like a character that never deserved that much care and doubled it. Dude, he heptupled it. I don't think Ricochet shot's worth it. He quid-boggled it. This is one of my two major hot takes about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Some of y'all have heard my other hot take, I think. Has anyone heard my other hot take about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? And I firmly believe both of them with all of my heart. The one where they should have used the original model? Yes, absolutely. The original design of Sonic was the correct and more evocative choice for the film that it was in. And all the bitch asses lost their shit about it because they didn't know what the movie was because they hadn't seen it yet. You have to see it in the context of the movie, have a little bit of media literacy, goddammit. Of course Sonic is supposed to be a weird little creep. All of the scenes with Sonic in those movies meeting strangers are like scenes of disgust and revulsion. They're like, oh, what's that? It doesn't make any sense with the new design. He's like cute. He doesn't like seem of this world. The original design seemed like a weird rat creature. That's the whole point of the comedy of the movie, was built around the weird rat creature. But they're like, that's an ugly Sonic. Yeah, well, that's the point. You just didn't watch the movie yet. You don't know the point. You complain about something you don't know about. Okay, that's my other hot take. And like, not to get political, but sorry. But quite frankly, I felt the same way about the Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell backlash when that trailer came out. The backlash was correct, but like, you have to watch the movie first at least and see what the movie's talking about. There's a version of Ghost in the Shell that is about the ways that corporations grind up the bodies of the oppressed and make them shells of whiteness, right? There's a version of that. That's like touching on themes in the original. You can't like pre-censor something because of just a loose impression you have of it. Turned out Ghost of the Shell was a fucking terrible movie and was not even remotely up to the commentary that it was vaguely trying to make, so all the criticisms were justified. But Sonic? We should have let that one rip, man. We should have let that one rip. Hedgehogs are technically not rodents, but I'll let that one slide. Dude came from a dimension where, like, owls are mommies and they talk, and they also have race wars with other creatures on islands. So, I don't know. I feel like it's, I feel like rodent probably doesn't apply in any case. Sonic was in PlayStation games and that's it? Rip? What? What are you talking about? Valen Death? Sonic is Sonic, I don't have preferences. Oh, you mean piece of shit games? Or do you mean... Wait, what do you mean? Do you mean postscript games? Sounding. Is this gonna be explosive tarp? Okay. Thanks, bud. I don't know if I care enough about protecting the 4-2 to... Oh, shit, I could do this. I forgot. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Sonic was at its best IMO in PS1, or was it Super Nintendo? I was young, but anyway, after things that came after were downers. Yeah, do you mean the two-dimensional Sonics or the early three-dimensional Sonics? Because the two-dimensional Sonics were on like Sega Genesis, which I had growing up, and I thought those were really good. Those are solid games. And then they started to do like more 3D stuff, and I think it never really worked out for them. Known as the Sega Mega Drive here. Yeah, right, but there was also the Sega Master System. And then there was another spin-off 2D Sonic 4. I guess it was for the Master System, maybe? Trying to remember some other console. The Yakuza series is so funny, Batplug. Just from what footage I've seen of it. We could try deadly shit. Wait, do we just have lethal regardless? Bump, bump, bump. I mean, yeah, we just kinda... I mean, even if the game weren't over, that freezing trap would actually help me. Hilariously. Give me another Mastiff. Game Gear. Do you prefer Sonic, Crash, or Spyro? Do you prefer Sonic, Crash, or Spyro? Gotta be Gex. I've had fun with each of them. Not like a super fan of any, but I'd say Sonic probably. I never played a ton of Spyro. I had like one Game Boy Advance game or something. That was alright. And I have... a certain amount of nostalgia for Crash.
Our paths converge.
Start with this one, actually. I have a certain amount of nostalgia for Crash because it actually might have been the first PlayStation game I've ever played. My cousins had it. Actually, my aunt was a gamer. Possibly the first adult I ever knew who was a gamer. So she introduced me to Crash. Which, now that I think of it, is maybe a little bit prescient because the major life event of the last 5 years for her has been a debilitating car crash. But anyway, we'll go over and visit them. Have a lot of fun playing maybe the original Crash Bandicoot. And then I had some other friends who had, like, Crash Bash. That was really fun. Boomer Gamer before Boomer Gaming, that's sick. Yeah. She was, my uncle was blood related to us, and she was, well, his wife. She was usually pretty nice to me, although I don't know that, she was the best mother. And I bet you that my family said disparaging things about the fact that she, like, played video games in her free time. Because, like, that really wasn't the culture back then. And Gex's pop culture references did not age well. Oh, we're doing fuck, marry, kill? Sorry, fuck, marry, unalive. Sorry, consensual coitus, domestic partnership, unalive. Okay, let's play. Now that we've updated that for the modern era. Kill Crash for sure. That knight's not doing nothing. They played Plague Grain? Good fucking luck. Why all the Crash hated here? He doesn't even talk? Do you enjoy encountering people who perpetually hit you with a wide open full mouth grin but never talk? I don't tend to like to be around people like that. Oh, come on. Honestly, ISO might have the correct take there. I'm really considering killing Sonic. But then what the fuck do you do with Crash if you kill Sonic, is the thing. It's really kind of a bind, isn't it? Like, you could fuck Spyro and have a loveless marriage with Crash. Remember, boys, woe means woe. Oh, God. Fuck Knuckles, marry Tails, kill Sonic. I don't like Tails very much, but I think Tails is a sycophant, so he'd probably be like a very good partner. You could just kind of dominate him in that way. So once again, I think Isoleucine has the correct take there. Killing it today, bud. I believe that Crash can communicate or be reasoned with, but chooses violence. Yeah, there truly are no heroes in the Crash Bandicoot universe. Only monsters. Not sure you could handle trying to sleep with the quadruped? You know, like... having, like, dogs and cats in your bed? Or do you mean, like, get jiggy with? That's a good take, CJ. I mean, you could just do oral stuff, Bad Plug. Like, he probably gives spicy blowjobs. Okay, alright. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Chat, you're making my day a whole lot better. Thank you for that. I think we've had, like, 8 people leave since this conversation started. They stuck around for the politics, but they couldn't handle the the anthropomorphic bestiality. That's legit. Just hit here, please. Just hit here, please. Just hit here, please. Come on. Dude, you gotta fuck the mask, right? I know y'all are curious. Obviously. Right? Jeez. Like, he just... like, marrying that thing would be a nightmare. And I don't even think you can kill it. How... Chat, this is really... I'll give you a little critique of you here. How in God's name have we gotten through this entire conversation, and now this second wave of Jim Carrey conversations in the context of Fuck, Marry, Killer, and nobody has brought up the Grinch? Not even once? Get your shit together. Yeah, Bapplug, that'd be pretty affirming, I think. Yeah. I mean, there's a Twitch emote that does that, right? Booba, we got the, and then Kaka. Surprised they didn't have any healing there. That's nice. It's not the best thing he's done. That's certainly true. But at the same time, I do also have respect for the work that he put into the Grinch. Like, I don't like, unless I don't know if you can even comprehend the misery that it was to get into that full body makeup every day. We're talking hours and hours and hours in a makeup chair every day on set. Just to be so uncomfortable during the shooting. Mike Myers must understand that feeling. Yeah, the amount of time he had to put in before every day of shooting Shrek. Ridiculous. I'd say inhumane. Just the latex alone. I like Lich King cards. I like Untargetable. I like all of these, actually. Which one should I pick, chat? They're all good. This is like nice value. This is probably the best tempo because it's cheapest. And this might be able to make a really nasty mid-range body that they can't easily get rid of. Then again, I would say maybe not Bear Shark because Druid doesn't have a lot of target spells anyway. Always Arthas. Wait, somebody else redeemed the Shrek 2 review but you also watched Shrek 2 recently? Hey. Alright. 7 mana 3/3, baby. It's not very good, to be honest. The new Cat in the Hat movie is pretty good. Yes, the new Puss in Boots movie I have heard is actually quite excellent. And is doing some cool experimental stuff with animation. So I'm looking forward to watching it. When you use 2 modifiers to good, I start to question how good it will be. Eh? Oh, you mean when you're like, it's very, very good? Yeah, Frank and I were actually just talking about that, Pill Guy. It's, in psychoanalysis, we call that negation. So, like, it's a psychic maneuver where your unconscious mind jumps out to put a minus in front of the thing that you actually do believe. So we've all seen this in the form of like, listen, I don't want to sound racist, but, or like, I'm not racist, but. And then the next thing that's said is always racist. It's kind of the definition of doth protest too much, you know? Or just kidding. Someone is like, oh, just kidding, just kidding. And one form of negation is, as you described, like, we witnessed this on a Hogwarts Legacy stream, actually. Somebody, like, was asking it was a big streamer, somebody was asking them how they thought the game was. They were like, wait, it's actually very good. Actually, really. No, it's, you know, I wasn't sure, but no, it's actually really very, very good. That's a form of negation as well. All those emphases, you know. This is not looking good. This is actually not looking very, very good. And the person speaking seems to be trying to convince themselves. And the psychic role that fills is one of protecting the subject. It's a way of telling a truth that's too hard for the subject to tell. So it gets inverted in the way that they're presenting it. It's like too much for the person to take, to say the thing, so they have to couch it in negation. I guess this makes sense. Means we can't hero power, but they're at 30 health, so I don't think that matters that much. I guess it's a fine time for this. Many Hearthstone Arena streams have been getting sponsors lately. I don't watch sponsorships at all ever. I respect the need to supplement their income, but I have to admit I do tend to leave those streams instantly. Zero faith in the mobile app market. Yeah, you gotta get the bag, right? I'm not fundamentally opposed to... I guess it's better than composting, maybe? I don't know. Not fundamentally opposed to it, but as far as I'm concerned... it's not worth it until you make it big on Twitch. I get sponsorship offers all the time. You could make as much as $1,080. I know that as much as X doesn't apply to me. I'm gonna have, what, 11 people watching me play whatever it is? This and then this, right? Can make this work for us. Maybe. Oh shit. My bad. Did that bad. I did that bad. Didn't think about the fact that I could get rushes. I don't understand why City Architect doesn't have legs. She's she's just behind. It's a She's like behind the table. She's just standing behind something. But it's possible that Flesbeto is approximately 7 months old and hasn't developed that object permanence yet. Impressive command of language, though. My point of view is that when streamers take sponsorships, they're not selling their channel, they're selling their audience, and I do not consent to being sold. Yeah, but that's not like a problem for the streamer. You don't consent to being sold, so you just leave, right? Like, this channel is my space, and I do with it anything that I want to that doesn't violate terms and conditions, right? Like, this is your space too, but you don't have ownership over it. No offense. Like, it would be different if streaming was like a physical room, and then you go into the room to watch someone play Hearthstone, and then they lock the doors and start playing Raid Shadow Legends. Then, sure. In that case, sure. You didn't consent to that. Big Bang Theory, 2 broke girls. Oh, sorry to take that out from under you, -1. Seems like making that joke meant a lot to you, and it wasn't right of me to rob you of that experience. This is your space, after all. Yeah! Nailed it. That was the last straw. Yeah, but that's my reason for not staying for them, is the point. Yeah, no, and that's totally valid, and I'm affirming that, while also preventing anyone from having an interpretation that it's like somehow wrong for a streamer to do it. Streaming, like, Twitch is an extremely hostile environment for anyone who wants to make a living from it. So I hate ads, I hate sponsored streams and all of it, but like, unless you're born rich, which a lot of successful streamers frankly have to be, you gotta get the bag somewhere, or else you won't be able to play anything on Twitch because you're gonna be working at the grocery store. No disrespect toward working at the grocery store. I just mean that as an example of a job that somebody can do that chat can't enjoy watching them do. Hello. Me looking in a room watching Raid Shadow Legends, worse than Clockwork Orange seated with the eyes open. I dropped. The eye drops are microtransactions.
These are due back tomorrow.
I spy.
Forgot which streamer said it, perhaps Isherwood, but those that make a living on Twitch are already making a living on something else.
I can be very persuasive.
Yeah, unless they're... And this is not exaggerating at all, but unless they are the top 0.1% of streamers on Twitch. 0.1%. So 1 out of every 1,000 streamers, maybe, makes a living. Let that sink in. Yeah, I heard those give a good talk about that a few weeks ago. We're kind of out of stuff already. That's not a good sign. Raid Shadow Legends sponsorships actually get me to stop following streamers. The game is predatory as fuck, and them paying based on performance is awful. Yeah, we all have our lines. We all have our lines. And I'm not really interested that much in playing the game of whose line is purer and righter than others. We all have our lines, and that's respectable. You know, for me, somebody taking a raid sponsorship, sure. For you, that's too much. For me, somebody selling energy drinks to children, that's too much. For somebody else, sure. But I play a Blizzard game, and for some people, that's over the line. I get that too. But by the very nature of being a streamer on Twitch, I'm opting into unsavory structural connections. 0.1%, so you're saying there is a chance? Sure, sure. But I think I'm coming to accept that it ain't happening for me. I'm at relative peace about that. You think about the people spoiling the end of the Harry Potter video game on social media? I think those people are being true to the history of Harry Potter as a property. What more famous event of cultural spoiling has existed than Snape kills Dumbledore? It's just part of the property's cultural history. I think it's honoring Harry Potter to spoil the end of the video game on social media. I don't know if I really have a hot take about it other than that I think it's kind of funny. No, I know. I was just like drawing a funny parallel for the purposes of comedy. Surprised it took us this long to pick up our first L. Phew! Nailed it. Hope springs eternal. Can't believe they made the goblins villains. Yeah, one of the really dense things about the discourse around, and by dense I mean dumb, not like deep or layered, is people saying like, what, you expect me not to play this video game I want to play just because the progenitor of the franchise has political opinions on trans people that you don't like? But it's not just because that. The video game itself, and you know, that's something I do have mixed feelings about. Because I very much enjoy art from all sorts of creators who have shit political stances in quote-unquote real life. I just have to be aware of those stances going into my experience of their art so that that shit doesn't like infect me, you know? So I have mixed feelings about that, but the point is that the video game itself is virulently racist. Well, that's not good. Not even a good scourge, but enough for me to concede. Beloved expendable companion dies and the villain wasn't the oppressed people actually are such fucking milquetoast spoilers anyway. Yeah.
I must protect the Fire Lord. I'm acting on instinct.
Again, I don't really think there's any political efficacy to spoiling the video game on social media. But people get enjoyment out of doing so, so I'm not against it. I don't know. Have a good time. Have at it. Short-circuiting other people's enjoyment in a petty way. Not an effective political act, but a very effectively petty act. Yeah, it's in the same ballpark at least. Well, that's a very bad start for us. What the hell? Turn 2, that's what their board looks like?
The rage. It claims me.
This sucks. At least we can clear 2. Or we could Kodo. Kodo to get the body out there. If they go face, we can guard. If they don't, we can Mastiff. Oh, yeah, it's over. Here's the way of thinking about it in which I kind of like it. And this is going back to our discussion of like the tenets of the neoliberal, idealistic, individualistic worldview. And how it exploits people without even necessarily knowing that that's what it's doing. The reason liberal folks get so utterly defensive when called out on structural racism or hegemony or whatever is because there is a deep entitlement that they have for what they have. They feel deeply entitled to maintaining the sphere of like privileges, economic, racial, whatever it is, to maintaining their comfort, to maintaining their ability to do whatever they want to do. There's a total allergy to the notion that real change in the world is going to come with great sacrifice for the ruling class. Because, like, the liberal elite is a thing. Like, liberals, as well as many conservatives, are the ruling class. And the notion that sacrifice would have to be made to restructure society is totally allergic to them. And it's why they equivocate about protests that inconvenience them. It's why they cross picket lines, etc. Oh, you know, yeah, worker solidarity, but I gotta get my Starbucks coffee, right? Because I'm having a tough day, and this is what I need to get through the day, because I'm neurodivergent, or because I'm ADHD, or because I'm trans, or whatever. I need to cross that picket line and get my coffee. I'm all for workers' rights until it affects me. White entitlement, sure. Although not exclusively white entitlement, but yes. So, given all of that, when somebody suggests that they ought not to enjoy something that they feel like enjoying, they have a fucking meltdown and lose their minds. Dum dum dum. We did. Because if they have to give ground on Harry Potter, what's next? They're like McMansion in the suburbs? Their status as head of their nonprofit? The idea that they need to do more to enact political change on the world than just voting every once in a while? What's next?
You asked for it.
I'm acting on instinct.
The idea that they might have to engage in community care, maybe be in the vicinity of a person who doesn't have a house, maybe even let somebody stay with them who needs a roof over their head? Ugh. They might actually have to read a book about black liberation? That takes hours. You know what I'm saying? The idea of a better world? Sure, so long as I don't have to do anything about it. I'm ready when you are, CJ. So in that sense, I do enjoy the petty fuck you too of the spoilers. It's like, oh, it's so important for you to be able to enjoy what you want to enjoy. Who else in the world has that opportunity? So in a small way, maybe we could take that away from you as well. A small petty way. It's bourgeoisie politics. It's no different than a conservative megachurch pastor completely avoiding all the biblical lessons about the evils of rampant wealth and the commentaries on class, just completely suppressing all of that in favor of prosperity gospel. It's not really any different. It's just with liberal folks, there's a kind of lazy atheism, and it takes the form of non-profit organizations. Ill news is an ill guest. Ill news is an ill guest. So for this challenge, chat, I have to guess what the quote is from. If you have a guess, keep it to yourself for now. I'm gonna say, and if somebody said it in chat, I haven't looked yet. I'm gonna say The Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring, if you need me to be specific. Oh, maybe it's not Fellowship. Hang on. Ill news is an ill guest. Ill news is an ill guest. Two Towers? Is it in Rohan? Three news is an ill guess. I feel like it's maybe in Rohan. Yeah, Wormtongue. Mm-hmm.
Keep your forked tongue between your teeth.
It's a good quote to pull. I like that quote that you pulled. Non-specific enough, but stylized still. Two Towers is my favorite of the trilogy, something I understand is a very sparse take. You might be surprised, CJ. I think that it's a very split fandom as to what's the favorite. Thank you for the gifted sub to DJ90 Orgs. Appreciate that. Enjoy it, DJ. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Splinter. I think that a lot of people do say Fellowship is their favorite. Damn, 2 health. That sucks. And Return of the King is the one that got all of the accolades and awards. But there are a lot of film folks who point out Two Towers as the best, in large part because the centerpiece featuring the largest battle scene ever put to film at that time. Revenge of the King. It's not a hot take to say any... Everybody likes all of them. It's not a hot take to say any one of the trilogy is your favorite. Twin Towers. Yes. The Twin Towers, followed by The Revenge of the King, George W. Bush. I'm very familiar with these. Oh, man. I'll take. The Hobbit trilogy was not as good. A second end has hit the South Tower. Ah. 333 on all is my fave. Y'all happy now? That's what we're here for. I'm happy. I still remain the only person who's offered a hot take all day today. I was just pointing that out. And I offered a twofer. And none of y'all will ever see Sonic the Hedgehog the same way again. Yeah, I'll trade. I don't really know what to do with it. You could keep it stealth, you could go face. We're gonna have to do face eventually. Maybe next turn we put this up and go face. Or we get a trade and heal off or something. Master of Disguise and Masterpiece. Ketchup belongs on pierogies. Weak. Weak. Weak hot takes. I'm feeling antagonistic today, apparently. Bacon is fine when microwaved. Weak! Weak! I suppose that is a literally hot take, though. So, I guess Batplug gets a pass. Uncured ham goes great with meatloaf. Peculiar, but not particularly hot. I'll be honest with you, when I get a real hot take, I'll tell you. I know you got the video.
You're so welcome.
Not sure it can be a hot take if it's so specific no one has an opinion on it. Yeah, that's the one that gave me pause with the ham and meatloaf. Like, I don't think anyone was gonna be particularly mad about that. Just kind of scratch their head. Joe Mauer is the most overrated player in Minnesota Twins history. I have no frame of reference, so I can't say one way or the other on that one. Sauerkraut and pineapple is a great pizza combo. But, like, is it really that different than, like, a Hawaiian pizza? Nah. Lukewarm at best, take. 0.1% goes for the 2 towers early shooter to complete the 100%. That's a pretty hot take. Despite having the highest 3-point average of all time, Dirk Nowitzki is actually a below average player. I struggle with the sports ones. I don't have the frame of reference. CJ thinks the Mauer one's a pretty solid hot take. Yeah, I would defer to CJ on that. I got the 3 Minnesotas that watch Hearthstone. Does blue remain blue when mixed with yellow? But it's still pineapple and like... I don't know, are there people who say sauerkraut doesn't go with pineapple? That's kind of where I'm at with it, you know? We do have a Minnesotan in the chat. I was in your state once, Fujita. I went there once for a humanities lab. I had a lovely time. Your former state. Just accept that your Mauer statement did pretty well. You gotta accept that one. Actually, a huge Dirk the Jerk fan. I'm a huge Dirk Diggler fan myself. Pineapple is good juiced, but when put on food, I'm divorcing. Yeah, I'm no fan of pineapple. Pineapple's history is deeply rooted in colonialism. And that's why I avoid it. Just kidding, I just don't like the taste. I researched pineapples for a summer in college. Pineapples are the tools of oppression of the white man. I mean, they actually are. There's a reason that we call them pineapples, but every single other culture in the entire world calls them ananas. Peanut butter is bad, that's a hot take. That's cheating, you're allergic. That's the least hot take in the world. A food that I eat that would kill me is bad. Come on. Be real. Take Alley Cat to play now. Probably take a Mastiff though. Not a great turn this moment, but I want Mastiff for later. Here's one. British food is great. That's a hill I'll die on. Now, that might be approaching hot take territory. That might be approaching hot take territory. Bathing daily is bad for you. I don't think that's a hot take at this point. There are many different subcultures that adopt that stance. And it also might just be scientifically accurate. In terms of what it does to your oils and such. Thanksgiving sucks. Maybe like 40 years ago, that was more of a hot take. I agree with that one, though. People would treat each other better if there wasn't a system that uproots all they know for reacting, maybe justly. Sword salad. That's, I don't know what that means. Do not know what that means. Have you ever did anyone to believe that you could be anyone to have done anything is also a hot take, I suppose. That you could do anything? The Empire stole the culture of half the planet. British food is some chimera of most of them in a lot of ways. I have a sneaking feeling the vast majority of people shitting on British food just read their opinion on the internet, but it's certainly far from the best. Well, look, I have not had a lot of British food. I admit that I am of the belief that British cuisine is shite, to borrow some nomenclature. But I readily admit I have not had much of it. But just hearing about it sometimes makes me shiver. Slapping people can be okay. Is that a hot take? A lot of people were on Will Smith's side. Lower animals eat fruits, we real carnivores eat them 1+1. A lot of people think that, though. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, if you take Indiana Jones out of the movie completely, the movie proceeds and ends exactly the same way. That's a common commentary. That's not a hot take, though. That's not a hot take. Bill Burr has a hot take. You can hit women. I have a hot take. You can hit Bill Burr.
Quiet down.
Yeah, alright. Snape killed Dumbledore? He was an old man, it was too much for him. Yeah, so YOLO Swaggins, I don't... Regardless of the scientism, the, like, quasi-science of that comment, like, I think a lot of people... Perhaps even most people believe in the utility of violence in certain situations, so I don't think it's a hot take. I think the reason it feels like a hot take is because we've been poisoned by liberalism. To, again, circling back to this, but to believe that you can just idealistically choose things to be better and that violence is never the answer, and that Martin Luther King Jr. was correct and a saint, and that Malcolm X was a bad terrorist, you know? Like, that's a pretty dominant worldview right now, but there's many, many, many other worldviews that push back against that. That's just why I wouldn't consider it the hottest of takes. Yeah, negative one has a good phrase here. It's an established position of controversy. Yeah.
One more death can't hurt.
Ghosting should be totally acceptable. I'm fine with ghosting as long as it's not Casper. That guy... No. Don't trust him. He's got an ulterior motive, I'm telling you. Violence of the oppressed is not the same as violence of the oppressor. Amen. Amen. Preach. That one child from Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Church. A riot is the voice of the unheard. There's a difference between people who have a platform of voice and power suppressing anyone with an alternate view with violence, and people who have no voice, no platform, and no power striving to be heard. And have some agency in the world. Hot take, Casper is a sex pest. Yes! This is what I've been saying! Now we're talking. You get the clap emojis going. Get the Nancy Pelosi's out here. Forest fires are used as a smokescreen for natural disasters. I don't know what that means. Oh, I see. Natural disasters are used as a smokescreen for oppression. Yeah, I've told y'all about the article I've read about, like, why are hurricanes racist? That's a good take, I think. I don't know if it's a hot take, but it's a good one. I mean, just look at New Orleans, right? The obvious example. This country abandoned New Orleans, which is an act of tremendous racism and classism. Didn't have to go down that way. I'm talking about when the dam burst, obviously. But that was Katrina, I guess? I think violence should be accepted and commonplace in society without punishment, which I don't think most people currently agree with. Maybe most white people. But in other cultures, it's still very widely accepted as a way of communities self-regulating. Which, personally, I don't think is always negative. If a community can self-regulate with an occasional act of violence, then you don't need the white supremacist institution of police regulating with constant and perpetual acts of violence. Could hit, shot, clergy? Or you could just suspect. We'll go sussy for now. Like, if somebody is being an ultra creep, like if a guy is being an ultra creep to a woman on the bus and is getting handsy with her, and the people on the bus come together to, like, violently throw that person off the bus, to me that's community care. Even though it's probably, like, despicable to liberals because it doesn't follow the rules. The point is that the rules don't work. Could trade, shot, and then... Well, I guess we could do it like so. That's pretty good. Ricochet shot's been nice. Steve was the worst Blue's Clues host. That might be a hot take. I'm not embedded enough in Blue's Clues culture to know for sure. Yeah, Yellow Swaggins, like, the white ruling class has a vested interest in suppressing violence of all kinds because it disproportionately scares them the most. So I think it is very much a culture-to-culture thing. Because the thing is, violence is everywhere and it's unavoidable. It's just, it's what Engels called social murder, or social death. This violence happens in sweatshops on the other side of the world to low-class workers who we don't have to visibly see because of how our environments are set up. You know, that's the kind of violence that's acceptable in the status quo to like the ruling class. But when that erupts into more visible violence, that's when they get offended and try to save their own asses. And here, offended is a stand-in for what they really are, which is terrified. I think liberals would be on board with that form of vigilantism. I don't know. I think that they would tell the bus driver to do something and then call the cops. But liberals also are not a monolith. You know, I had a conversation with an old man after I went to see 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri in the movie theater. An old man who said his brother had been in prison for like 50 years because he killed his rapist who was a Catholic priest. That's the sort of thing that would, I think, be beyond the pale for liberal folks. I'm not, like, taking a stance on that or anything, but that might be a more extreme example. Here's a true hot take. Hearthstone Arena is the best form of card game anywhere on the market. Whoa, wow. Trial by combat. Oh, you're saying they're releasing new cards? They're previewing new cards, Fujita? Damn, I'd check that out if I cared about the game. Alright, just don't hit my 6-2. Thank you. I'm still not satisfied with the hot takes, but we had some that are like most of the way there, I think. We had a couple. I've had one hot take on stream that I will not repeat because it made a lot of people really mad with me. That's other than the Sonic the Hedgehog hot takes, I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have a ton of hot takes, but I've only had one on stream that made a lot of people really mad. I know you really want to know. I could whisper it to you, Bad Plug, but only because I trust you. If you want. So Yellow Swaggins, I will not whisper it to you. I am not trusting. No offense. Oh man. Seems unfair. Yeah. How about this? Here's my deal. I will only whisper it to Batplug, but Batplug can, without saying what it is, characterize it in an abstract fashion to the rest of you. I know, people didn't like it when I said that. You can't say that, Blobby. You can't say that. But I mean, come on.
We'll get you back on someone's feet.
We're hurting for value, so we probably take Arthas here. Although Dispatch Coda is really nice as a Zombeast. I've offloaded all ethical responsibility. It's Batplug's information now. Just characterize how he will. Oh man, y'all are gonna go to sleep tonight wondering, and you're gonna have dreams of Casper, the friendly ghost. Yeah, I think I want the Lich King card. Just like we need value. Well, this lets us. Well, no, we play it. We can play it now with this as well. So I guess that's the way to go. If the food is amazing, it's okay to have a racist menu? I'm also curious, what is a racist menu? I don't know, I feel like I've seen a racist menu on social media recently. I don't remember enough of the details to be able to recall it, though. Anti-magic shell? But a pretty far margin, the worst result. Like, we needed value, not 4-mana anti-magic shell. Just gotta sort of play stuff, hope we draw another minion next turn and play the shell. Dude, they did that in my college, Red Shirt Tilt. But alright, so maybe Red Shirt Tilt has come the closest to the hot take. But here's the thing. And now you get, but you have to get into a question of what is or isn't racist, and it's But here's the wrinkle at my college. It was Black History Month, and they did a special meal of, like, basically fried chicken and watermelon, right? But the menu was designed by the black workers at the dining center, and the largely white student body lost their shit about it and like complained to the school, and it became a big kerfluffle. But it was a menu that was actually made for like by the black workers with food from their culture. So kind of a messy scenario there. Yeah, Wheeler says I went to a HBCU, historically black college, and we had soul food Thursdays. Dude, soul food is one of my favorite types of food. Like, easy top 3. It's so good. I think we're gonna get there. I don't know that I want to bother with this. Hey, Infinite! Infinite! We did it.
You asked for it.
I'm acting on instinct.
Side effects?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about it, and this is why it's so complicated. African people were ripped by their home by the transatlantic slave trade, brought to the United States of America. And, like, completely divorced from their ancestral culture. Okay, so I'll go for tempo and do this, I think. So that's like step 1 of the dynamic, and then a lot of soul food culture comes from scarcity, you know, ingredients that are essentially the scraps from the table that they were like allowed to eat. Things that were cheap, things that were common. And a lot of really delicious cuisine has come from that, but like I said, it's a culture of scarcity. So something like watermelon, that is seen as a racist stereotype because through the process of racecraft, the creation of race and racial stereotypes, that's something that like white people did, right? Like white people made it racist because it was something that they used. They noticed like, okay, the slaves or former slaves, depending on what point it was in history, I don't remember, eat a lot of watermelon because it's cheap, because of scarcity. And then they made it a grotesque portrayal. They made it something that was worthy of being mocked in their eyes, right? Collard greens, sure. There's nothing wrong with collard greens or watermelon or fried chicken or anything like that. There's nothing particularly weird or gross or perverse about it. It's just the thing that black people ate, therefore it became an object of vitriol. And it became a symbol in a lot of like racist plays and stuff. People wearing blackface with big lips eating watermelon. So now we have a cultural memory of all those racial stereotypes, but it doesn't change the fact that these foods are a part of soul food culture. And all of that kind of comes to a head in this example of a college putting on a soul food night for Black History Month. And some people being like, that's so racist. What? Black people really love watermelon? But that, no, it's actually soul food. It's just like the difference between the racial stereotype and the cultural history of cuisine is like it's not something worth, like, it's not something that should be mocked, right? There's like absolutely no reason why anyone should or shouldn't love watermelon, for example, for sure. So then in the case of my school, a lot of black workers were really proud of the meal that they put together, and they are made to feel ashamed by white people for loving watermelon, just like when the racial stereotype was invented in the first place. Full circle, man. And that's like, that's again, peak liberalism. Like reinventing racism, except it's woke this time. This worked pretty well the other game. Oh, interesting, sure. 10 mana? Alright. I'll even do this. Just get that 2/6 out of the way. Let our little shitters put more damage in. Did this hunter start 0-1? No. We won our first 4 games, actually. It's the same trick of racecraft that happens when people are like, oh, like, so many black women are baby mamas. It's a racist statement, right? But then people would be like, oh, well, if you look demographically, that's actually true. The nuclear family in black communities, blah, blah, blah. But the racist part is treating that like that's something inherent to black people or black culture, biologically or culturally. Whereas it's something that white supremacy did to that culture. It totally obliterated the ability to live in an area or like make a living enough to like hold a family together. there's no opportunity structure, there's no support system. That's why these things happen, not because of some inherent cultural thing. And the progressive liberal worldview is all about reifying these inherent cultural things. You get into like a rehearsal room in a play that's about some sort of black pain or something, and the white folks in charge will be like, oh, you can understand this and I'll never understand it because I'm white, but you understand it, so you tell us what to think about it. And that to them seems like a progressive act, but it's just reifying this inherent difference that doesn't actually exist. And like, media isn't reality? Yeah, that's why it's called media, because it's mediated. But the truth is that reality isn't reality either. Reality is also mediated. I think we could throw this away, maybe. Yeah, okay. I accept that. Killing time until we get our Captain Knuckles. Poison Rush Knuckles, a souped up version of that 10-drop bunny. True, true. Yeah, it doesn't cleave, but it does other stuff. Ouchies! Okay, alright, we just lost. We just lost, I think, to clear our whole board and give us a Snow Flipper Penguin of all things we need value more than anything. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Maybe this can still get us there, but I don't know. We got some good draws here. We drew really late. Oh, you turd! How many heals? Mistress of Mixtures, Hosen Healer, Clergy. Special built deck to give us stress. It's a good draw. Oh, lovely. Oh, how lovely. Yes, I like this. Very nice. Christ almighty. I'm having deja vu. Isn't this how our other run went out? This ended up being exactly what we needed to oh, wow! Just another form of healing. So annoying. Guess I'll kill the 2/4. But I do think we lose now. Too many forms of value trading really well into our stuff here. Damn. Hey, we went infinite at least. Maybe I'll put this run on YouTube to memorialize all of our blazing hot takes. I think that's fitting enough.